In 2013, a 29-year-old computer technician walked out of one of the most secure buildings on Earth with a thumb drive in his pocket. On that thumb drive were 1.5 million classified documents. Documents that proved the United States government was secretly spying on every single person with a phone, a computer, or an email address. Every call you made, every text you sent, every website you visited, every photo you took, collected, stored, analyzed, without your knowledge, without a warrant, without your permission. His name was Edward Snowden, and what he did next changed the world forever. But here's the question nobody agrees on. Is he a hero who saved democracy, or a traitor who endangered millions of lives? By the end of this video, you'll have the facts to decide for yourself. Let's start from the beginning, because the story of how a quiet computer nerd became the most wanted man on the planet is stranger than any spy movie. Edward Snowden grew up in a military family in North Carolina. His father was a Coast Guard officer. His grandfather worked at the FBI. Patriotism wasn't just a word in this family, it was a way of life. After the September 11th attacks in 2001, Snowden tried to join the Army Special Forces. He broke both legs during training and was discharged, but his desire to serve his country didn't go away, it just changed direction. He turned to his real talent, computers. Snowden was a natural with technology. Despite never finishing high school or earning a college degree, his skills were so exceptional that the CIA hired him in 2006. He was stationed in Geneva, Switzerland, working undercover as a diplomat while actually maintaining CIA computer networks. He was 23 years old and already had top secret clearance. But it was his next job that changed everything. In 2009, Snowden left the CIA and became a contractor for the National Security Agency, the NSA. If the CIA is America's spy agency abroad, the NSA is its spy agency at home. It's the largest intelligence organization in the world. It employs over 40,000 people. Its headquarters at Fort Meade, Maryland, uses more electricity than the entire city of Annapolis. And its mission is simple: collect signals intelligence. In plain English, that means intercepting communications, emails, phone calls, text messages, internet traffic. Snowden worked at an NSA facility in Hawaii, and he had access to some of the most classified programs in the United States government. What he saw inside these systems horrified him. He discovered that the NSA was running a program called PRISM. Through PRISM, the NSA had direct access to the servers of Google, Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, Yahoo, and other major tech companies. They could read your emails, watch your video calls, access your photos and documents, all without a warrant, all without you knowing. But PRISM was just the beginning. The more Snowden dug, the more he found, and each program was worse than the last. There was a program called X-Keyscore. It was essentially a search engine for private communications. An NSA analyst could type in any email address, any phone number, any name, and instantly pull up every communication that person had ever made. Emails, chats, browsing history, social media posts, all searchable, all stored on every person on the planet. There was a program called Boundless Informant. It tracked how many communications the NSA collected from each country. In one single month, the NSA collected 97 billion pieces of intelligence from computer networks worldwide. 97 billion. In 30 days. There was a program that tapped directly into the fiber optic cables that carry internet traffic between continents. The NSA was literally intercepting the physical infrastructure of the internet, copying everything that flowed through it. And here's the part that stunned the world. This wasn't just foreign surveillance, this was domestic. The NSA was collecting metadata on every single phone call made in the United States. Every call, who you called, when you called, how long you talked. Millions of Americans, none of whom were suspected of any crime, had their phone records collected daily by their own government. When Snowden read the legal justification for these programs, he realized something that shook him to his core. The government wasn't breaking the law. They had secretly reinterpreted the law to make all of this legal. Secret courts called FISA courts had approved these programs in secret rulings that the public was never allowed to see. Democracy was being undermined not by breaking the rules, but by secretly rewriting them.
Snowden knew that if he reported this through official channels, nothing would happen. Other NSA whistleblowers before him had tried. Thomas Drake, William Binney. They reported illegal surveillance through proper channels and were prosecuted, harassed, and had their lives destroyed. The system didn't protect whistleblowers, it punished them. So Snowden made a decision that would end his normal life forever. He began secretly copying classified documents onto micro SD cards, which he hid inside a Rubik's cube. He kept on his desk. Nobody questioned it. It was just a nerdy toy. Over several months, he collected approximately 1.5 million documents. Then, in May 2013, he told his employer he needed medical leave for epilepsy treatment. He flew from Hawaii to Hong Kong, and from a hotel room in one of the most surveilled cities in the world, he contacted two journalists, Glenn Greenwald and Laura Poitras. He gave them everything. On June 5, 2013, The Guardian newspaper published the first story. The NSA was collecting phone records of millions of Americans. The next day, the Washington Post revealed PRISM. Within a week, the world knew the scope of what the NSA had been doing. The reaction was immediate and explosive. Governments were outraged, citizens were furious. Tech companies scrambled to deny involvement, and the United States government charged Edward Snowden with theft of government property and 2 counts of violating the Espionage Act, the same law used to prosecute actual spies. Snowden was now the most wanted man in America. Snowden needed to disappear. His plan was to fly from Hong Kong to Ecuador, which had a history of granting asylum to whistleblowers. Julian Assange of WikiLeaks helped arrange the route. But on the way, during a layover in Moscow, the United States government revoked his passport. He was stuck, trapped in the transit zone of Moscow's Sheremetyevo airport. For 40 days, Edward Snowden lived in an airport terminal, sleeping on chairs, eating airport food, stateless, passportless. The most famous fugitive on Earth living in a departure lounge. Eventually, Russia granted him temporary asylum, then permanent residency, and in 2022, Russian citizenship. To this day, Snowden lives in Moscow. He has a wife, a family, and has never returned to the United States. His critics say this proves he's a Russian asset, that he defected, that he traded American secrets for Russian protection. Snowden has consistently denied this. He says he never gave any documents to the Russian government. He says all documents were given only to journalists who decided what to publish and what to withhold for national security reasons. Whether you believe him depends entirely on which side of the debate you fall on. And that debate has never been settled. So what actually changed because of what Snowden did? The impact was enormous. In 2015, the U.S. Congress passed the USA Freedom Act, which officially ended the NSA's bulk collection of American phone records. The program that Snowden exposed was literally shut down by law. Tech companies like Apple, and Google implemented end-to-end encryption by default on their devices. Before Snowden, your iPhone messages were readable by Apple and anyone Apple gave access to. After Snowden, even Apple can't read your messages. The European Court of Justice struck down the Safe Harbor Agreement that allowed U.S. companies to transfer European citizens' data to America, directly citing Snowden's revelations. And public awareness of digital privacy went from niche concern to mainstream issue overnight. Every privacy policy you've ever clicked accept on, every encryption feature on your phone, every VPN ad you've seen exists in part because of what one 29-year-old with a thumb drive revealed in 2013. But here's what makes this story relevant in 2026. The surveillance hasn't stopped, it's evolved. Today's AI systems can do things the NSA could only dream of in 2013. Facial recognition, predictive behavior analysis, real-time social media monitoring. The tools have gotten exponentially more powerful, and the debate Snowden started, the debate between security and privacy, between safety and freedom, is more urgent now than it has ever been. Your phone is in your pocket right now. It knows where you are, it knows who you talk to, it knows what you search for at 2 a.m. The question Snowden asked in 2013 is the same question you should be asking in 2026. Who is watching? And who decides how much watching is too much? If this made you think differently about the phone in your pocket, subscribe to MarkerMinds. We explain science and history every week. And if you want to know what the Aztec Empire did to its enemies, watch this video right here. See you in the next one.